Do the new form builder in Indition Forms and see how it's different from the old one. From the dashboard here, we'll hit Create Form. Nothing has changed there. Now you'll see we're in our new form builder UI. From here, on the left-hand side, one of the first things you'll notice is that the buttons change. So the fields that you can add into the forms, they look a little different over here. You can recognize them by name. And we also have a search bar for finding fields that you don't want to be scrolling around looking for. So just for example, if I said first name, name, we'll see all of our different options here. We have our standard fields in the left tab in the sidebar, and then you'll see our advanced fields over on the right hand side there. So just to go back, adding fields into the form is the exact same way as before. And all you need to do is click on that field. So we'll do first name. I'm going to leave last name out and I'll show you why. We'll do email and let's do phone number. And then this is going to pop up the first change, and that is we recommend that you save this form. Beforehand you had to save the form yourself. We saw a lot of people not saving it, and that means their forms were inactive. Now we lead you on the right path, help you save your form. Once your form is saved, you'll see we have this new pop-up that appears. Inside of here, you'll have a few different options. You can start using your form, which will give you a link to the form itself. You can change the success message after the form. You can change the email notification that gets sent out after your form is submitted. You can get the embed code for putting the form on your site. And then also you can access the actions after submission over here. You can still take all of these actions inside after submission, the tab over here on the right hand side. So I'm going to save and continue editing, and then you'll see where this form builder has changed. Now you'll see that we have the capability of not only placing fields into our form and configuring these fields like beforehand, where you click on first name and you can change the different configuration settings for that field, such as requiring the field. But now you'll see this new option, which is row styling. So this lets us actually edit the styling characteristics of this form so that the design is controlled in the same interface as the form fields. So I'm going to hit cancel. But just for example, I'll click on this row. I'll go to row styling, and now I can make my form, this form row specifically, 2 columns. Before we had to go to the advanced designer, which is still accessible, but now we can control these design characteristics in the form builder while also editing our form. So you see I left out last name. Now I can just click last name, or actually I can drag it over into that spot. So you'll see I have a very basic form set up. Something new that we also added is the ability to control not just the row styling, but the overall form styling. So to do that, you'll click Form Design, and over here you can see the different characteristics that you can edit. So let's say I'll make my form with 60% of the space it's in. Form background, let's make that just a light gray. We'll do no border. Field background color, I'll make that white. So this is the phone number input field, the background on that square, that input box. Submit button background color, we'll just make that black. And then I'm going to add a little bit of padding above and below my form. So that just adds some extra space down below the submit button, as well as above my first fields in the form. And you hit apply to make that styling change. And now you can get an idea of what our form is going to look like over here. And like I said, now this lets us have a form that looks the way we want as well as functions the way we want, all within the same interface here. So you can continue editing if you'd like over on the left hand side, or if you're done, you can hit publish. And the pop-up that you see available is going to help you direct you on how to use your form. So here's the link if you just want to send people to the page that we host for you. So I can click that and we can view my form. So this is the form, this is the styling that I set up for it. I'll go back. And then we also point you in other options as well. So if you're just done editing, go to the dashboard, go manage some other forms, create another one, go to your actions after submission. That's where you set up what do you want to happen after someone submits your form. We have other videos showing you all of those. And then we do have one new option in here. When you're designing this form, we call this the default design. Before we had our advanced designer, but now what we give you is the ability to go to the advanced designer and create a new design of this same form, but we let you start from this default design as your foundation. So to do that, you just hit create new advanced design, starting from the default design here. And that will take you over to the designer, which again we have other videos on how to design your form, but it'll let you start from where we are here. So a few other changes besides what I've shown you is going into the settings here of our form. Let's say you just wanted to restart with your default design. We have a new button here, reset default design. I'm going to say yes, just to show you what will happen. And you'll see now I'm back to having the same form fields, the same elements in my form, but all the design characteristics have been stripped from it. So we're just back at the default settings. Something else new is that now that this interface where you're building the form is a mix of the form builder and the designer, we still allow you to have multiple designs of the same form. If you happen to not want a field in this one default design of the form, you still have control of that. So you'll see now when you choose to delete a field, you'll have the option. Sorry, I chose a row there. When you delete this field, you can choose whether you want to delete this field from the form and all of its designs, or you can just delete the field from this custom design. So let's say we do that, because I want to show you what happens. Now I have fields over here that are removed from the design I'm currently looking at, but are still available to be used in other designs of the same form. So those fields will appear over here, fields removed from the design, and you can drag those back in to be used whenever you want, or you can delete them from the form entirely by clicking that little red X icon here. So just to recap, some new items in this form builder is we have our updated sidebar for the fields that you can put into your form. We have the ability to search now for fields in this sidebar. We have our new save and publish buttons here, which helps point you in the next direction for your form, as well as gives you a few options. We have our option for styling the form overall through form design, or just the design of the row in the form. And then we do have that new option of removing fields from this form design here while they still remain in your form. And that's this last part that I showed you here. So that's our updated form builder interface. We hope it makes your form builder experience a lot easier. Thank you.